Hey, Ronnie,
Hey, Lou.
you ever thought about going to Mexico?
I've been there several times.
Now is not a good time to go. We'll tell you why next on Men Are So Smart. Well, hi there, and welcome to another episode of Men Are So Smart. I am Lou Gallagher.
I'm Corvette Ronnie.
And if you have ever considered or are recently considering a trip to Mexico, you might want to think twice, my friends. Mexican authorities said there are no indications of violence in the deaths of 4 members of an Iowa family found in a condominium where they were vacationing near the resort town of Tulum.
Not heard of that town.
I haven't either. The Mexican Embassy in Washington, D.C., and the Office of the Attorney General for the state of Quintana Roo on Mexico's Caribbean coast both told NBC News that no indications of a struggle or crime were found on the bodies or in the condominium where the Sharp family was staying. This is terrible. A family of 4 has been discovered dead, all in the same house.
So, a spokeswoman for the embassy, Paulina Alonso, says so far no signs of violence have been found. Our deepest condolences to the family and friends of the Sharps. The Office of the State Attorney General was investigating the deaths. An official in the office said the bodies of the parents were found in bed, while those of the children were discovered in front of a television. Police official in the Sharps' hometown of Creston, Iowa, said the department was not releasing any information until we get autopsy reports back.
Iowa authorities identified the dead as Kevin Sharp, 41, Amy Sharp, 38, and their children, 12-year-old Sterling and 7-year-old Adriana. Ashley Peterson, who has been posting updates on the Sharp family and claimed to be a relative, posted on Facebook that she believed there was no foul play.
She stated on Facebook that the family left for Mexico on March 15th, was expected to return to St. Louis this last Wednesday. When they failed to arrive, they were reported missing to the local police. NBC News was not immediately able to verify Peterson's relationship to the family.
The day after the Sharps departed, the U.S. State Department issued a travel advisory urging Americans to exercise increased caution. People, that's what I'm saying here.
That's always a good idea in Mexico.
Exercise increased caution when traveling in the state of Quintana Roo, which also includes Cancun, Cozumel, and Playa del Carmen. The department cited targeted homicides and turf battles between criminal groups. But Ronnie, this does not sound like that at all.
No.
You know what it sounds like to me?
Carbon monoxide
Yes.
or something like that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
What from a law enforcement point of view, what is taking place? Although I know you can't speak for the Mexican, what are they called? Federales.
Yes. I mean, typically what would happen here, we would go in there, we would look for signs of foul play. If we don't see any, we call the coroner. We kind of leave it up to them, whether they feel it's, criminal in nature, or it sounds like in this case, they don't feel that. I mean, when I first heard of the story and I didn't see all the headlines, I'm thinking, oh boy, it's a murder-suicide type thing.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Which is unfortunately
Very common.
more common than you'd like to imagine, but I guess that's not it either. They'll figure out pretty shortly, I'm sure, exactly what happened.
Could they tell from blood samples?
I'm not sure how long. I mean,
Carbon monoxide?
once you stop breathing it, I'm not sure how long it takes for it to exit your body.
I really can't speak to that.
So I know there are ways that they can tell. I don't know how long they'd been dead before they were discovered. It sounds like just maybe a matter of a day or two.
Yeah, well, I heard that there was one correspondence between the husband and a friend of his via Facebook Messenger, but that was like on day 1. It said, we have reached our condo, blah, 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 but no one ever heard from them again. It was the last communique.
Unfortunate. And I can tell you my daughter and future son-in-law have been to almost all of these other places, Cancun, Cozumel, Playa del Carmen. but when they go there, they typically go to a resort that is barbed wired off of from the rest of the community. So you don't have, and not that some terrorists couldn't go in there and take over the whole resort, but realistically, it's, if you're going to go to Mexico, that's probably the way to go. Go to a resort that is all inclusive, that you don't necessarily have to leave the premises, and when you do, because they have excursions, but those are also guided by the resort.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
It just sounds dangerous enough to and from the airport, bud.
yeah, I mean, you're going to do it as safely as you can, but I mean, honestly, anything could happen. I worry when my daughter and son-in-law go to Mexico.
I can tell you that I just have one experience with Mexico, and it was not good. I took a cruise from LA to Catalina to Ensenada.
Yeah. I've been on that cruise.
Donald Trump would be right in calling that place a shithole. It's the worst place I have ever been. Dirty, filthy, disgusting, and that was my impression of Ensenada.
What was the name of that bar? Papa's and Beer, I think.
Yes, that's what it's called.
Papa's and Beer.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody goes to Papa's and Beer.
Yep.
We walked around a little bit, but that was our main thing. We just got off the cruise ship,
Yep.
Papa's and Beer, and then
Back home to the boat.
Yep.
All right, well, if you don't believe me in my warning of traveling to Mexico right now, perhaps maybe you'll take something from this next story. Whoa. Citing 2 months of harassment of workers by local criminal groups and the lack of an effective police response, the country's largest bottler said it's indefinitely closing its distribution operations in Mexico yesterday, affecting about 100 jobs. And yes, my friends, even Coca-Cola FEMSA is leaving Mexico.
Yeah. They went on to say the lack of conditions to effectively and safely operate in this part of Guerrero and the recent unjustified aggression to one of our collaborators led the company to this decision. Employees had received threats and the company's facilities had been affected. The company didn't elaborate beyond the statement, but recently at least 2 mayors of the towns in Guerrero have been gunned down. The wave of violence coincides with record homicides across Mexico. Last October was the deadliest month of the century, according to data from the Interior Minister.
The company closed another facility in Guerrero in 2014 amid threats to delivery workers, my friends.
I mean, at some point, it doesn't make sense to stay in business. Cut your losses. Just move out of the building.
And you wonder why people are trying to cross our borders?
Yeah.
You know what?
Build the wall.
All right, that'll do it for this episode of Men Are So Smart About Mexico.
Yes, Mexico.
Yeah, and what have we taken? What have we learned? People, because if we've learned nothing, we've done nothing but waste our breath.
That's right.
We have learned that Mexico is a place that you might want to avoid for a while, which could be years.
Yeah.
But in any case, now is not such a good time.
No.
All right. If you'd like to get some more information on either one of us, you'll find it below in the description, along with links to our sources, our website, our social media, our blogs, and of course, our sponsors who make this all possible. Subscribe to our channel. We would appreciate it. If you had a good time, you learned something, give it a thumbs up. I'm Lou Gallagher.
I'm Corvette Ronnie.
And that'll do it for another episode of Men Are So Smart. We'll see you next time.